We ain't found Sith.
Warning, the following podcast contains speculation, which may be confused with spoilers, although it may also contain spoilers. You have been warned.
Hello, and welcome to issue 77 of We Ain't Found Sith. I am your host. My name is Evan. Unfortunately, not joining us because he has some technical issues. Maybe he'll join us later. Is Pedro, and of course, as always, producer Fungus.
Yoga Fire.
And as you can see, we have a special guest with us today. Please welcome a round of applause, even though we can't hear it, for Laura Di Lorenzo. I believe, yes, Laura Di Lorenzo. One of the.
So is it Laura or Laura? Laura.
People forget. I didn't want to do the thing where I'm talking in English and then I go into the Hispanic accent. You know,
the best of us.
You know, it is what it is. That's just the kind of I feel the people that do that are pretentious. Like, oh yes, and joining us today is Laura Di Lorenzo. And it's like, but it's, you know, if you want, we'll call you Laura. That's fine. So Laura may be a bit familiar to you guys. Laura is what I'm gonna call one of the OG YouTubers. Back at YouTube's inception.
Local Miami legend, bro. Come on.
And Miami legend. Laura is one half of the Chonga Girls.
The Chongalicious Girls. Come on.
I am.
Well, you guys are the Chonga Girls. That's your YouTube channel, right?
Oh, true that.
Yeah.
Chonga Girls, the Chongalicious Girls.
Yeah. But more importantly, Laura's here with us today because you're on the Spanish dub. You are the voice of Selena.
Yes, I am.
So that's pretty wild. Like, how does someone go from Chongalicious to being the voice of Selena? I mean, obviously it's been like what, a decade since Chongalicious, a little bit more.
A little bit more,
right?
But it's been about a decade. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So I know you put.
She doesn't look a day over 17.
No, you look exactly the same as Chongalicious.
Oh my God, thank you.
Seriously. But no, like, I know you put in a lot of work. Like, I think the first time I saw you pop up on my radar after seeing the Chongalicious video was doing work with Me Too.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty dope. And I was like, aren't those the Chongalicious girls? Like, you know what I mean? I saw you. Yeah, I've seen you in all of in Jenny Di Lorenzo's videos, doing Abuela, right? All that stuff. So I know you've been putting in work. So tell me about this journey of you starting off, you know, in high school doing the Chongalicious Girls all the way up to now doing Selena's voice.
Yeah. So, well, first of all, thank you guys for having me.
For sure, no problem.
When I graduated from New World School of the Arts in downtown Miami, I knew I wanted to do comedy. And so I started researching where do all the best comedians go to school, because I studied theater, but I was like, I don't want to do theater. I want to, or at least I do, but I want to do comedy specifically, some sort of improv or sketch or stand-up. Like, where do all the best comedians go? And I started researching it. And a lot of them went to either Upright Citizens Brigade in New York, Second City in Chicago, or Groundlings in Los Angeles. And I was like, well, I am from Venezuela, raised in Miami. I'm not going to deal with the cold, so I'm about to go to Los Angeles. I was like, ain't nobody got time for that.
Smart choice.
Yeah. So I came here, and Mimi was already, I stayed best friends with Mimi all throughout college. We went to different colleges. She ended up going to Southern Methodist University in Texas.
Oh, okay.
But we stayed, but she also studied theater. And right from college, she also went to LA. And so I graduated a year later from college because I just took a year off after high school.
You were in LA. So, you had to enjoy LA.
Yeah. But after college, I decided to go straight to LA. Mimi's like, I'm here, just do it. I was like, okay. So I got there. And Mimi and I kept thinking, man, we gotta do something together. We gotta bring the Chonga girls back because we work. I mean, not only are we best friends, but we work really well together. And so we started the journey of like, how do we bring the Chonga girls back? And around the same time was when BuzzFeed's Pero Like and Me Too started popping off with Latinx content. And Mimi and I were like, we felt the pressure even more. We're like, we started this Latinx movement like a minute ago. Like, we got to be back in the spotlight. And so we decided to do the Chonga Girl Diaries, the Chonga Diaries on YouTube, which is a series about the Chonga girls moving from Miami to LA and their journey to be stars. It's a how-to guide for people who want to be famous because we're famous ourselves.
And do they ever transition from Chonga to Chola?
No. 305 forever. Very different. Very different.
Yeah.
Very different. Pero someone told Jenny, who was also living at the time in LA, that the Chonga girls were living in LA, and she was like, "Oh my God, I got to work with them some way, somehow." And we got introduced, and we realized we're like, "Oh my God, we have so much in common." And we made the first BuzzFeed video with her, which was it was a Chonga makeover, and that video went absolutely viral. And that's when Mimi and I were like, okay, we got to do the series now or never. We got eyes back on us. And so that's when we did it. And then we kept working with Jenny. And then Jenny left from BuzzFeed to Me Too. And at the time, I was working at restaurants doing, the restaurant thing when you're trying to be a working actress. And so she's like, hey, they're hiring producers. You should apply. And so I did. And that's how I got the job at Me Too. And that's where I started doing Laura's Corner, which was kind of like, I don't like doing stand-up that much because I'm not like good at making up jokes back to back to back. I'm good at doing storytelling. And so that's what I started doing at BuzzFeed with Laura's Corner. That got popular. Thank God I got eyes on me, and that was great. And then after that, they laid off everyone, unfortunately. And so Mimi and I were like, well, should we continue doing the Chonga girls on YouTube, or should we do something? I mean, do we want to stay on the internet forever, or do we want bigger things? And I was like, well, I never intended to be an influencer. I've always wanted to be an actress on TV or in the movies. And so that's when we started writing the Chonga movie, the Chonga girls movie. And we've been writing it for a while now, and we're also in the middle of writing a series. We're working on a pilot for a podcast as well. And so that's what we've been working on. And then the crazy part, how I got Selena, the Selena voiceover gig, was because when I got laid off of YouTube, off of Me Too, I wrote on my Facebook, I was like, hey guys, I'm looking for a job. If anyone is hiring, let me know. This is what I could do. And then a friend from middle school, who's a casting director here in LA, she was like, hey, why don't you audition for some things that I have here? I'm a casting director here. Why don't you audition for me? And I was like, okay, sure. So I auditioned for that series called Elite. You know which one I'm talking about? Elite.
No.
Elite. It's a Netflix series.
Okay.
Elite. And I auditioned, but I didn't get it. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Is that the one? Is that the one that's based in LA about that family that has that restaurant?
No. That's Gentefied.
Gentefied. Okay.
No. I know a lot of people in Gentefied, but
a lot of Me Too people are in there, right?
Yeah, a lot of Me Too people are in there. And what was I saying? Oh, well, anyway, then she gave me the audition for Selena, but it was called Gloria because they weren't trying to tell people what it was called. And I was like, oh, I know this script. I'm like, I know what this is for, because everyone knew that the Selena series was coming off. And so I did it. And then I got a second call back, and then a third one. And then when I got it, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I got it. Because after meeting the director.
Had you ever auditioned for voiceover work before?
I had never done voiceover before. I told them that I had. Never in my life. I always wanted to.
Yeah. Voiceover, I feel like it's such an underrated job, because it's like, first of all, your performance has to be on point. You need to be able to convey every single emotion, that whether it be an animated character or whether it be an actor that you're dubbing their voice. You have to be able to convey all the emotions that they're conveying. But yet you get to do it, if you want, you can do it in pajama pants from the recording studio.
Oh yeah. No, that was the best part.
And how much acting had you done in Spanish before that?
Not a lot, which is really funny because I moved from Venezuela to Miami when I was 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then my Spanish became Spanglish, and then all of a sudden I started speaking more English than Spanish, and I started forgetting words in Spanish, and so my family was always making fun of my Spanish. Yeah,
we can all relate to that.
The garbage Spanish that we speak in Miami, that's a mixture of all the immigrants.
Yes. Every time I go back to Nicaragua, all the friends that I made the first time I went over there, they're like, "Oh, el gringo." I'm like, "Thanks."
Yep. I'm the gringa.
Yeah.
Well, I never forget. I was in DR visiting my dad, and I went to one of those, like, back then, if you wanted to call the States, you had to go to like a place to call from, like a call center type place.
Yeah.
And I'm in there, I'm talking to my mom or whatever here, and I come out of the booth, and the girl's just like, where are you from? Like your accent's like all over the place.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm from Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
You got that Miami accent.
Yeah.
When I asked the director, I was like, "Hey, quick question." I'm like, "Why?" Because I was surprised they didn't choose a person who spoke better Spanish. To be honest with you, I was like, "Hey, why'd you choose me?" She's like, "Well, you really captured Selena's essence in the series, but also your Spanish is kind of weird, and we kind of like that because Selena's Spanish was weird." I was like,
"Oh, nice."
Got it.
Well, I mean, Selena was like us, right? Raised in California, raised in America.
Yeah. Raised in Texas, I think, no?
Yeah. She was raised in Texas, Corpus Christi, and her Spanish was super crazy. It wasn't the best, and so she was like, "That's why we liked you." And I was like, "Okay, I'll take it." So yeah, that's how I got it.
That's great, man. What a story! What a journey for you, huh?
It really has been.
And not only that, I mean, the doors that this could probably open up now. I mean,
I hope so.
And because now you've got like a real credit in your voiceover work that can really be, put on a resume and be like, yeah, I did that. I mean, that's what it's 9 episodes, Selena. I believe. Yeah,
that's right.
There you go.
Yeah, and they're already doing season 2. And I'm also the voice. I asked the director, I was like, "Hey, do you think I'll be the voice for season 2? She's like, "Yeah, you have to. The fans would kill us if we didn't choose the same people."
Continuity.
I was like,
exactly.
That's what's up.
There you go. Job security at least for a little bit.
Yeah. Now tell us a little bit about this process, because I know, I am a movie nut. Like, I'm the guy that buys all special edition DVDs and watches all the special features. So, like, I know that, like, for an actor that did the performance, doing the ADR on their own performance is sometimes odd. How is it as someone who's doing ADR on another actor's performance in a different language?
Oh my gosh. Well, I had never done voiceover, so that was already very new for me. And then on top of that, to act like someone else, I was like, okay. But it became it was actually kind of easy. I would just hear the tone that she said it in and try to mimic that in Spanish. And obviously, I had a lot of help from my director. And it's funny because the Spanish, I'm Venezuelan with a Miami accent. And so sometimes the way that I would pronounce things, she'd be like, can you pronounce it like this instead? Because then towards the end of the series, they really wanted me to speak better Spanish.
Yeah.
And so, for example, I couldn't say things like See, now I'm saying it like them. Mexicana, I would say Mexicana. And she'd be like, "Can you say it like this? Mexicana?" Like with the Mexicana. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. Or also, I would eat up all of my S's because in Venezuela, S's don't exist for us.
Same as in Nicaragua.
So, yeah. It's a Latino thing for sure. I don't know. Let's see the word. Like, I don't know. ¿Hiciste eso? ¿Hiciste eso?
Yeah, no.
I'd be like, ¿hiciste eso?
Yep.
She'd be like, can you say hiciste? And I'm like, hiciste.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So that was rough for me, but yeah, I was able to do it. Thank God.
And then the fact that, like, you do a movie and it's an hour and a half, 2 hours. maybe 2.5 hours. Some of the new ones. You've done 9 episodes. They're what? They're like 45 to 50 minutes an episode.
Yeah. I was
So
thinking
you've
about
got
that
almost
too.
9 hours of this under your belt now.
Yeah, it's true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's so true.
Mhm. So yeah, so
A lot
I
of
mean,
practice, good practice.
yeah, definitely.
How do you feel? How do you feel you've grown as an artist or as an actress from this experience?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, putting VO work in my resume,
Mhm.
that's a huge thing. It's something that I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
The fact that I also did it in Spanish, the fact that I can now um, confidently say that I'm like, yeah, I'm an actress both in English and Spanish, and here's my resume. What's up?
And what a parallel between you and like actual Selena. When she started off, she was like part
Yeah.
of both worlds. She was like, and I don't remember if you remember the movie that her dad says, you're too American for the Mexicans and too Mexican for the Americans, kind of thing, right? That's sort of the life that we live here in Miami. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? With
for
our
sure.
respective countries, and now
2
you
Americans
and
are
you
our
did it.
grandparents.
Yeah, exactly. And you just did that in your profession, so that's a crazy parallel.
Yeah, it's actually really so I paran los pelos thinking about what you just said. It's so true. It's so true. I am really proud of myself. I'm proud that I'm doing what I love and I'm getting paid to do it because I think it's I don't know, I think it's brave that I was able to do that. I was so scared when I moved from Miami to LA. Like I was 25 and I had never lived outside of my family's home. I'd always lived with my family, even through college. I stayed living with them. So it was the first time that I was away from my family, away from everything that I had known. And when I started auditioning here, I was like, damn, there is nothing out here for me. Like,
Yeah.
people, I don't look white enough. I don't look Latina enough. And so that was really frustrating. But because Mimi and I were creating our own content because of the Chonga Girls, honestly, this is why I've been able to make a career out of this acting thing that I love so much. It all started with the Chonga Girls. I mean, I've been acting honestly since I was like 7 years old.
Yeah.
You guys know Don Francisco, Sábado Gigante?
Of course.
So back in the early 90s, they had a segment where they did like a kids sketch show. I don't know if you remember that.
Uh-huh.
I was one of those kids.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's funny because when I had first moved here, they were like, "Oh, she's perfect. Her Spanish is perfect. This is a Spanish speaking show. She's perfect for it."
Yeah.
Which is funny. But because of the Chonga Girls, I've been able to the people know, oh, the Chonga Girls, oh, okay. They just take me a little more seriously, which is great. And now I have all this under my belt, Laura's Corner, Selena. So it's been amazing.
Nice.
And I'm sure the blessings will just continue to roll in now.
I hope so, amen. I pray to God.
Jessica wants to know, have you auditioned or will you audition for any movies?
I have not auditioned for any movies as of yet. I just got with my current manager like in March, which is when the pandemic started. So I haven't really been able to audition for any movies. I've been auditioning for shows though. So that's been kind of fun. And it's been a learning experience as well to audition for shows and the type of, oh, Norma, you remember? Do you remember my face? But yeah, I've also been learning how to act for sitcoms and TV shows, which is a completely different than movies and YouTube also. So.
And I would argue a better format. I mean, you get a longer time to tell the story. You get to really dive into characters and stuff like that. I'll be honest. TV is probably the better format now.
Yeah, I think so. And that's why Mimi and I have been working so hard to thank you, Yamile. That's why Mimi and I have been working so hard to get the Chonga Girls onto TV because we really, really, really want to bring 305 into people's screens. We really want to show people what Miami is about. They have this like twisted idea of what Miami is, or Florida for that matter. And so
well, it's two different places. Miami and
absolutely.
Florida, two different places.
It's true. It's very true. But it has two extremes. It's either like the place where people go to retire, or it's either the place where everyone is sexy and the beach. And it's like, no, there's a place where no one knows about. Places like Wynwood, places like, I don't know, Aventura, places like Hialeah. Like there's so many places in Miami that people don't know about because it's never been captured on TV or in the movies. So we've been trying really hard to do that with the Chonga girls.
Well, that's awesome. I think Gus froze. All right.
I was wondering. I'm like, wow, he's sitting very still.
Yeah, no, that happens with him from time to time. He'll be back in a moment, I'm sure. So are you still out on the West Coast?
Yes. When the pandemic hit, I did go to Miami for a couple of months, and I was with my family. But I got back, and then soon after, I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I think Hollywood is opening up back again. I got to go back and audition. And sure enough, as soon as I came back, I got the Selena audition, and I got it. So.
Oh, so that worked out. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was a good decision.
And then luckily, it was voiceover ADR work, so you don't have it's like, yeah, it's maybe one guy in the recording booth, and then you in the other one.
Yeah,
so
we're in a different room, so it was perfect.
So perfectly quarantined from each other, as opposed to like a lot of other stuff where it's been like yeah, we can't go back into production because we don't know when we're gonna be able to get people around each other again.
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy.
Yeah. So Lara, you mentioned your Chonga Girls show that you want to put together. Is there anything else you're working on right now?
We're working on a podcast as well.
Okay.
Mimi and I, but we're not chongas. This is more like you'll get to see our relationship as friends, and we kind of talk about our upbringing. It's a lot about our upbringing because we both have immigrant mothers, and so it's kind of about that. So we're not chongas. We're just talking like as ourselves.
Yeah.
You'll see our dynamic as friends, and then we talk about shit that happened in our childhood because we had immigrant moms who were both very religious and really funny. So
probably the best decision you can make is to not do it as characters, because
yeah,
I mean it's hard enough coming up with content when you're just talking about like stuff that's happening. Coming up with like scripted programming like on a regular basis and podcasts. I think we've gotten our fans kind of used to now the bi-weekly format, and then hopefully when movies start coming out again, we'll be able to kind of go back to that weekly format.
Right.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of podcasts where it's like, I haven't had an episode in 2 weeks. What is going on? What has happened with this podcast? Why can't I get my free content?
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, calm down. You're not paying for it. It's free. Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get there when it gets there.
All right. Well, Laura, before we let you go, we want to know, what do you consume, right? You give us a lot of content to consume, but what do you personally consume? Like, I know right now we're watching Mandalorian and stuff like that because we're nerds, but what about you?
I watch Mandalorian as well.
All right.
I have to sign up. We did this thing where my boyfriend signed up for the Disney thing when it was like free for a month, and so we ate out the first season. Yeah. And now I'm like, damn, I'm about to pay this. Like, how much is it? Like $7.99 a month?
If you're doing it monthly, I believe, $7.99.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna wait until season 2 is over so that I can consume it all in like a month before, so that I could like, you know what I mean? It's like back and forth because I don't watch a lot of Disney Plus other than The Mandalorian. We're hooked on it. I'm also watching. I loved The Crown. Obsessed with it.
I watched that with my mom.
Oh, I told my mom to watch it too. I was like, Mom, trust me, you're gonna watch it. She's like, se ve aburrido. I'm like, trust me, do you like Lady Diana? She's like, yes, I do. I love her. And I'm like, watch it.
All Hispanic moms love Princess Diana.
All moms love Lady Diana.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they love her so much. Let's see, I'm watching that. What else? Lovecraft Country.
Oh, on HBO Max?
On HBO Max.
All right. I just started watching it. I didn't even finish the first episode because I had to go, but yeah, it looks really good.
It gets crazy. It gets wild. And then I watch a lot of TV. So, Killing Eve. Love Killing Eve.
Okay. Where's that on?
That's on Hulu.
Okay.
And then I obviously watched Fleabag. I watch a lot of stuff. I try to be well-rounded and everything.
Are you still with Me Too, by the way?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
No, but I work from them. I work with them freelance from time to time.
Oh, okay.
Right now during the pandemic, it's been a little hard, but maybe next year I'll pop up. I don't know.
All right. Sounds good. Well, Laura, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Anytime you got anything you wanna plug, just reach out. And we're happy to have you on the platform.
Thank you so much. Definitely. Well, right now it's the only thing I have right now is Selena, so make sure you watch it in Spanish with English subtitles if you don't speak Spanish.
For sure, 100%. You know, we support our local 305 Do or Die Till We Die all the time. Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Laura. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
All right. What a wonderful person. Don't you just love it when people are they're awesome?
For sure. Yeah. For sure. That was a great interview, man. I lost connection there for like a minute.
Yeah, you did. We lost you for a moment, but it was I held down the fort, I think, pretty well.
You're a professional.
Semi-pro. I'm a professional-ish amateur. Until the day I get paid to do this, I'm not a professional.
True that.
You, sir, are a professional. You get paid to broadcast.
Yeah. Yes, Jessica, she was very sweet.
Yeah.
Lopes. Oh, sorry, Lopes.
Sorry, dude. I hope you get your mic fixed.
Yeah.
Oh man. So definitely Selena. You know, I didn't ask her impact that Selena had on her life, because I feel like everyone kind of like in a certain age group, Selena was like the biggest thing ever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I at that age, I think I was like super into like the grunge movement and some like some of the punk movement with like Green Day and stuff like that. Yeah. I wasn't really like I've never really been a listener of like Spanish music. So like I think Selena.
But you were aware.
Like,
But you were aware.
I think I was aware, but
like me,
my radio was on 94.9, not 96.5.
Of course. Yeah, of course. When I was that age also, I wasn't jamming to Selena, but I was aware that she was a huge star, and when she died, I knew that it was a big deal. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely, man. That's what a great honor.
I remember girls crying.
Yeah, dude.
And I was like, wait, who died? Like, the girl with that song on Power 96. Like, I wasn't aware she was such a a superstar. Like,
oh yeah, dude.
And then obviously, then the movie comes out and all of that.
Yeah.
Jessica asked, how do we like the series? I'll be honest, Jessica, I've not seen it yet. I wasn't even aware until like yesterday that it was out already.
It hasn't been out that long.
I don't think it has.
Yeah.
And I tend to do my binging on the weekends because I work my 9 to 5 on the weekdays.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to catch it yet. I know my mom's watching.
I know. I will definitely be checking it out.
Yeah.
I know that it stars as the adult Selena is Kristen Serratos.
Yes.
Who is I know her from Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah. No, regular Walking Dead.
No, Fear the Walking Dead. The West Coast version.
No, she's from the regular Walking Dead.
All right, you're gonna make me bust out the IMDb.
She could have busted what's his name, the guy with the bull staff, and done a crossover. But no, she's from regular Walking Dead because she was dating the army guy.
No, dude, I think you're thinking of the other girl. The girl played. Oh no, yeah, it is. She played Rosita.
Yes, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, I don't know why I thought it was the girl from Fear.
I don't know.
You know, the one that they needed in like season 3 when
probably because they're all Hispanic on that side.
Well, because I remember like I think it was season 2 or 3 where he goes to Mexico.
Who?
And he meets the girl in that little town, and so I thought it was her for some reason.
I haven't seen. I saw like season 1 of Fear the Walking Dead, and I never saw anything after that.
Yeah, I stopped watching Walking Dead like 2 years ago
Yeah.
because I couldn't take the freaking it was too depressing already. I was like, can we get these guys some hope? Like, can we
Yeah.
can we get a love story that
I got
is not
upset.
going to end tragically?
I got upset when what's his name? The smart guy that supposedly knew what the cure was. When he came out and said that he was bullshitting the whole time when he didn't actually know the cure.
Eugene.
Eugene. Oh, when Eugene says, "Oh, I'm just kidding. I don't know anything." I was like, "Oh, come on, bro."
Well,
Fuck,
it wasn't
fuck
that
this show,
he was
dude.
kidding. It's that he was trying to save his own ass.
Yes, I know he wasn't joking around, but like, yeah, he's
But still a smart guy.
kind of lost
Still smart.
interest in the show after that.
Yeah, and still has saved their asses on a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
You know, knowing knowing about things like how to make things, how to get things made. You know, how to
yeah.
what crops to plant.
Yeah.
And
But
things
yeah,
like that.
I thought that whole angle of this guy knows how to cure it. We have to take him to
But that's
wherever.
like
I thought that was interesting.
that's like his story for like one season.
No,
Like
he's
at
that
the end
guy
of
for a while.
that was like the first season or whatever.
No, that was his story for a little bit, man. It's not until when they got to
remember that even though they take a big break in like
mhm.
December, January, February,
Yeah,
the
it's still in
part that
season.
starts
Yeah, I
in
know.
October and the part that comes back in like March,
It's still
one
in
season.
season. I know. Brooklyn Nine-Nine does the same thing.
Yeah.
No. But I think it was when they got to what's this guy that with the metal bat or with the spike bat? Negan. I think somewhere right before Negan is when we discover that Eugene was full of shit.
I think it was a little bit before that. I think it was like when they first got to the
But it was after Governor.
It was either like right after Terminus, or it was like when they got to the village in Virginia, which the name I forget the name of it.
I don't remember.
Sanctuary or something like that.
Oh, Sanctuary. Might have been Sanctuary.
Unless Sanctuaries were the saviors. I don't know, bro. That show has been on for like a decade now,
I know, man.
Things blur together.
Yeah, and I haven't watched it in a very long time.
Alexandria, there we go. Thank you, Mario.
Mario, you should be doing this fucking show, bro.
But yeah, man. So Christian, and all love to Laura, and I'll probably switch over to SAP just to like give it a listen and hear her work.
Yeah.
I'm assuming she's playing adult Selena.
Yes.
And not young Selena.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a switch over just in case. But I read subtitles. I don't like dubbed versions because there's something about like the audio and the video not matching that just my brain goes like
Yeah.
and with animation I can forgive it a little bit more because obviously with animation like it's just mouth flaps and it's very hard that they actually like enunciate. But when it's a person, like a live person, and they're actually like saying something and the audio is just not matching, I'm like,
man. So you never got into old kung fu flicks, bro?
Well, obviously growing up, like that was the only way to watch them.
Yep.
But as soon as like I started watching them like on a Blu-ray or on a DVD, and I was like, oh, I can watch this in Japanese and just have subtitles.
Yeah.
Immediately, that's what I began to do.
Yeah, that's the way that I watched Dragon Ball Z back in the day. With Mario, actually.
There you go. Well, Dragon Ball Z, you have to watch in the dubbed version because Goku's voice in the Japanese version is just horrible.
Yeah, but I liked it better. I liked watching it in Japanese.
Yeah. Jessica says that she enjoyed the series and it gives a lot more of a backstory into the family, but that the wigs were tremendo.
Tremendo. What a comment about a show like Selena. The wigs were tremendo.
Well, I mean, you got to figure it's Texas in the 80s when Selena's a kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, bro.
Big hair.
The hair was big.
Yeah. Everything's big in Texas.
Yeah. So yeah, man, that's I'll check it out. And obviously, we saw the movie growing up, and the movie is what, 2 hours, 2.5 hours long. You don't have forever to get into the backstory of the family and all of that. So obviously, when you get into the when you get into the series, you're gonna have a lot more time for that. She says the movie hair looked better.
There you go.
I mean, I'm sure that was in Jennifer Lopez's contract.
Yeah, probably, right? She can't look bad.
I can tell you a lot about it because
My mom's like sneaking in on the door, like I can tell you all about it. And I was like, maybe one day I'll have mom. You know, maybe for Mother's Day we'll have moms on the podcast.
Bro, she broke the fourth wall.
Yeah. She just decided like I'm gonna walk into the room and talk to him.
It's all good.
Instead of just commenting on Facebook.
Hey, if Cindy the intern can do it on Lemon City Live, then your
There
mom.
you go.
What is your mom's intern name?
Well,
you gotta call her like.
Well,
You
she's
gotta
not,
give her an intern name.
I can't say she's an intern.
Why not, dude?
Um,
Norma the intern.
Because she's my mom, bro.
Or what? If what's his name? If the Godfather, the
El
young
Padrino?
Godfather. What's it? The actor. If the actor, bro.
Marlon Brando.
De Niro.
Oh,
If De Niro can go be an intern, then
yeah. But when De Niro did Godfather 2, De Niro hadn't done anything.
Well, I couldn't remember his name, so I said The Godfather. That's the first movie I thought of.
You know
But
what?
He did a movie like 3 years ago where he's old and he goes and he gets
Oh, Gus froze again. Oh man, that's Mama Consigliere. That's what I'm gonna call her.
okay. I'm
Mama
down.
Consigliere.
That's a cool name actually.
There you go. I go to her for advice whenever I need advice.
Yes.
She's a consigliere.
But is she a wartime consigliere?
No, not a wartime consigliere. She's an all day. Wartime consigliere. I gotta go to I gotta go to either my dad or I gotta go to probably one of my uncles. Or
Always there's always that sketchy uncle, right?
Yeah.
He's the wartime consigliere.
Uncle Nefarious.
There you go.
Uncle Nefarious is the wartime consigliere.
There you go. Yeah, with Anne Hathaway. He was her intern.
Okay, but that's he wasn't an intern in real life. He was playing an intern.
Well, your mom's not an intern in real life either, Evan.
I know. Anyways, so we've had a little bit of news.
Oh, we got Lopes.
Look at that.
Lopes, are you here? Can we hear you?
I don't know if you could hear me, but it's not working. I can't hear anything.
I can hear you perfectly fine.
We can hear you. Yeah, it's a little soft, but we can hear you.
What's
up, bro?
And I guess his mic is working, but his headset's not.
I mean, say that. Fuck it. Hold on. I'll be back.
All right.
He's gonna go grab a headset now. Watch, because I said the word headset.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh shit, I can grab a headset." So yeah, man. So we've had some news over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, dude.
And we've had 2 episodes of The Mandalorian, which I'm all about, man. I've been all over this series. First, we find out the name of the child.
Yeah, man.
Grogu. His name is Grogu.
What do you think of the name? Do you like it?
I like the name, bro. It's he's got a name, and it's not. Like somebody said to me, like, "Oh, that's a silly name," and I go, "Is it more silly than Yoda?" Like
seriously, it's a Star Wars name. Of course, it's fucking silly. Like everything in Star Wars is silly.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, it's a 2-syllable name. And so far, all 3 members of that species that we've met have had 2-syllable names.
That's true.
And I still think, and it's a better name than Yaddle.
Yaddle. I was about to ask you what her name was. Yeah, Yaddle is terrible.
Yeah. like Yaddle, I think has less creativity to it than Grogu.
Yeah. Yes.
I feel like Yaddle was like, well, we have a Yoda. How about a Yada? A Yaddle. We'll call her Yaddle.
Yeah.
It should have started with a Y. There's only there's supposed to be an entire species of them. How many? They're not Cubans. They can't all start with their names with a Y.
Yeah, that's true. They're the Cubans of the galaxy, man. That's why they talk funny, huh?
It's Jessica and Javier and Yusnavi.
Yep. Oh Lord. What would be his name if he had to give Grogu a Cuban Star Wars name?
A Cuban Star Wars
That
name.
starts with a Y. Yeah.
That starts with a Y. Union.
Yuniel. Yuniel. Oye, usa la fuerza, Yuniel.
You know that for the longest
Why?
time, I worked with a guy, and they always said, "Oh yeah, his name is Union,"
Mhm.
and I always was like,
I like
"Oh, it's like
Yankiel.
Yuniel." And then one day he like when they gave us like new name tags, and he shows up, and his name was Junior.
Oh my God. Yuniel.
It was literally Union.
That is
I was like,
awesome.
what?
Can you
Who
answer
is
this, please?
Yaddle?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, it's Yaddle, and she is the female of the Yoda species that is in the Jedi Council scene in the Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah. Did they say her name in the movie? Or we just find out what it is?
I don't think they say her name in the movie,
Yeah,
but
right?
it's in all of like whenever Star Wars makes a movie,
Yeah.
they release like all kinds of like books and things like that of like the visual dictionary and like here's all the stuff and all of that. And in all honesty, it's one of the funniest things ever because she literally looks like it's somebody put a wig on Yoda.
Yeah.
I'm bear with me. I'm just popping up right now.
The image. By the way, while you're doing that, before we get into any more Star Wars or anything else, you mentioned the Jedi Council. Did you hear? And we talked about this on the Morning Juice the other day. I think it's the former Defense Secretary of Israel, said that Israel and the United States have been talking to aliens for a while now, and they're known as the Intergalactic Council or something like that.
I heard about that.
Yo, that is wild, man.
And I don't know. Am I frozen on your screen? Because my
No.
browser just froze.
Oh yeah, no, you're good on my screen, man.
Okay, well I'm gonna keep on going with the show. I just clicked on share screen, and all of a sudden, like it's just not responding.
All right. StreamYard, bro. StreamYard uses all the computer's energy.
I don't know. You know what? I'm vamp for a moment. I'll be right back.
All right. So this Intergalactic Council thing, man, that is just straight up bananas. I don't know if anybody in the comments, if you've heard about it, please comment about it, share something about it, because how can Evan's back? You're back.
There's two of me.
How are you doing this? It's the big reveal.
I don't know.
What is that movie? Is it the Magician? The Prestige? One of those magician movies. You never seen?
I don't know.
Where the big reveal at the end is that he's a twin.
Yeah, the Prestige.
That he clones himself. I think it is, right? I don't remember.
Yeah. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the Prestige.
It's been fucking like 20 years.
I know. But yeah, that's the Prestige. Not to be confused with the movie that came out around the same time, The Illusionist, which is with Edward Norton.
Yes.
But
they both came out like at the same time, huh?
Yeah, they both came out like Hollywood does that.
It's weird, dude.
It's like one studio's like, we're working on a movie about magicians, and another studio goes, wait a minute.
Yeah, so are we.
Yeah.
Just
that's like we got Tornado. We got Twister at the same time that we got like I forgot what, I think it was Dante's Peak or something, or it was like another tornado movie. But I know we got like Dante's Peak and Volcano at the same time.
Yeah.
I remember like they for some reason studios are like, we're gonna make a movie about the exact same disaster.
Yeah. Lopes, are you alive?
I could hear you guys so little.
Oh.
But can you hear us?
I don't know what happened. I deleted OBS because I tried to stream this weekend. So I downloaded OBS, and I guess that was taking priority on the headset and the mic and all that fucking shit. But I deleted that shit, restarted my computer, and now I have to like physically connect my, like, not the aux, but you know, the actual pins into the computer, and I can't hear shit. Well, I could hear
Uh-oh.
it very faint.
Well, that sucks.
That's weird.
But you can't hear us.
No, what I'm doing is to get around it. It's going to be a little bit of a delay. Is I have Facebook open and I'm watching the stream.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Digging this shit, boys.
All right.
All right. So you were asking me about this whole like the United States and Israel has been in contact with aliens and all of that, and
Yeah. Did you hear about that, Lopes?
I really don't know what to say about it.
Give me a second.
I mean,
This is
Bro, can you imagine who's a famous Secretary of Defense?
I want to say it's not that the United States and Israel have been in contact with aliens,
Mm-hmm.
but rather like for the last like 15 years, no, not 15 years, but like the last like 25 years, like
Yeah.
Stephen Hawking was fucking with with them.
That'd be amazing.
Like before he died, he was
Yeah.
like, he's like, I'm just gonna like relay messages back to them on this, and I'm just gonna fuck with them, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna make it seem like the messages are being beamed from outer space by like
Oh.
fucking with the algorithm or something like
Yeah.
that. I mean, it's like, first of all, who can keep a secret like that? Like you can't keep a secret between three people.
No.
Like let alone like all the people that have come and gone through like the government offices that have supposedly dealt with this, like,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, it's just like I feel like if aliens wanted to make their presence known, they'd fucking do it like with a bang. Like
Yeah.
like they'd show up like in the skies, like we're here, bitches. We're here to enslave you and take all your resources.
No.
You know,
I have to do a radio show.
I gotta agree with Elon. If alien life forms are gonna come over, then it's gonna be just like the conquistadors when they came over from Europe. And it's like we're coming to take your shit.
Yeah. All right, Lopes, is that better?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I ghetto rigged it. We did it.
Woo! There you go.
All right.
Fucking God damn, man.
Are you caught up on Mandalorian?
Huh?
You caught up on Mandalorian?
It's muffled. Hold on. Say it again.
Are you caught up on
Oh,
Mandalorian?
yeah. For
Let's
sure.
talk some Mando, baby.
Let's do it. Fucking such a ghetto rig.
So we start off the first episode that we're talking about today is called The Jedi. And guys, I thought Rosario Dawson did a great job as a live action Ahsoka Tano.
So did I, man.
And then that episode was just so well done with all the samurai imagery and all of that. And Pedro dropped. Why does he? Pedro, use your phone.
Yeah, dude, use your
If the
phone.
computer's not working, just use your phone. But yeah, man, I like Rosario kills it. I love that whole like the samurai showdown vibe that we get with it. At the same time that we're getting the samurai showdown with her and the magistrate, we've got the frickin' the Wild West showdown with the Mandalorian. I'm just gonna call him the Mandalorian because it just feels weird to call him Jin. To call him Jin.
Yeah.
And like I guess he's like the marshal of the town or something like that. They didn't really. I don't recall them giving him a title. But yeah, man. And then like he does that whole like, you know, I'm a faster draw than you are. We got a nice classic shootout.
Yeah.
We get the classic moment where like the assassin droid's coming over behind the back. He's no look, shoots the droid in the face. You know.
Yeah.
Classic Western shit. And then obviously we got the samurai fight on the other side of the wall.
That was great. That actress that played the magistrate is a longtime stunt person, and she's actually the goddaughter of Bruce Lee. I thought that was pretty cool.
I read that.
Yeah.
Pedro, thoughts? I know that you probably popped a boner when she said, "Where's Grand Admiral Thrawn?"
Yeah, both my boners got fucking hard as hell.
You missed it, Gus. The week before, the episode before,
Uh-huh.
we were supposed to be talking about the Mandalorian to the 2 episodes that would come out, and it turned into like a Rebels talk, just
Nice.
and all that.
I
But apparently, not only is Thrawn still around, he's been promoted to the rank of Grand Admiral. So it makes me wonder, like, is he or is he not affiliated with Moff Gideon? Is Moff Gideon running his own like separate section of what used to be the Empire? So many questions. It's one of those things that, like, obviously the Empire was like notoriously xenophobic, made up mostly of humans, and it's one of those things where, like, I know when Thrawn was introduced in the novels, that was one of the things that was always talked about, was like that the Emperor kept him like a closely guarded secret because the other Imperials probably wouldn't have approved of him and all of that. So it's something that is, it's a badly kept secret that everyone kind of knows about.
Yeah.
And I'm a person who kind of grew up reading what is now called Legends, but what used to be called the Expanded Universe. Before Disney was like, yeah, this stuff doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And Thrawn was a major player in that expanded universe, and one of the things that happened after the death of the Emperor was the Empire kind of split into like individual warlords, because suddenly every commander of a Star Destroyer was like, well, I'm in charge now.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to see if, especially if Thrawn and Gideon are like they're not aware of each other, or they don't like each other, and maybe we get some Empire on Empire violence.
Dude, I think it would be awesome if one of the antagonist characters in this show that's with the Empire ends up becoming what's this guy's name from the guy that was the master of, man, I'm forgetting names right now. God damn it. And I don't sleep enough. What's this guy's the fucking the Sith Lord in the newest Star Wars movies?
Talking about Kylo Ren?
Snoke.
No, not Kylo Ren.
Snoke.
His master. Snoke.
Okay.
If they finally explain how Snoke came to power by way of Mandalorian, I think that would be cool.
I mean, and this is just speculation. Oh. What was that, Lopes?
I said I don't care about what happened in the prequels. Just let it die.
Well, I was gonna say I feel like we got in the previous episode when he went back to Navarro, and they find all those I guess tubes with like the dead bodies in them or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's gonna be the origin of Snoke, right? It's like he's maybe one of these like weird people who have been injected with Grogu's blood or something like that. I know, like, we speculated about it on the last episode, and Lopes and I were kind of both in agreement that we don't see this show ending with like them going their separate way. Like, we see like basically they're together to the end of the show, and that's the show.
All right.
It's one of those things where
you think it's gonna have a sad or a happy ending when it finally ends.
I really don't know, man. It might be bittersweet.
Yeah.
Like, you might have like, it's sad because maybe we lose somebody, but then it might be,
Do you think we're gonna see Grogu like growing up a little bit and maybe have like some dialogue eventually?
I think it depends on how long the show goes on for. I think I don't know why it's just a vibe I'm getting. Maybe it's because like Filoni only and I know like Clone Wars went 7 seasons, but like they had to fight to get that 7th season.
Yeah.
But then like Rebels only went 4. And I don't know, Filoni might be like, yeah, you know what? After like seasons 3 and 4, we're done. Favreau, right now this is great because
Yeah.
they go to that studio, they film on that studio, and that's what they're doing. But Favreau, I'm sure at some point is going to want to be like, hey, I've got another movie in me.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where like, how long can they keep? And I don't want the show to keep on going if they can't keep this like core group together.
Yeah. Don't keep it going just for the sake of keeping it going.
Yeah.
Because then it becomes The Walking Dead, and nobody wants that.
Right.
Walking Dead had no end in sight, even in the books. Like,
well, they ended the books, right?
That show kept true to what the books were, bro. There was never a light in the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? It was always just an uphill. What's that Greek god? I forgot his fucking name. Titan or something like that, where you have to push the boulder up the hill the whole fucking time.
I think that's right.
No,
Titan.
He was a Titan.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. But that's what being a Walking Dead fan seemed like, because I read that shit for a long ass time and I realized that shit sucks because it just doesn't stop. It's just like there's nothing changing. Like they'll change characters. Like, oh, okay, so this time this dude is fucking up the group. Oh, that's about it. You never see anything different. Yeah. So I feel like
Sisyphus, by the way.
What?
Sisyphus.
Syphilis. Nice.
Yeah.
So like, that's what it feels like. If they do that with this show, I'll just be pissed off. But I don't think they will. I think they'll end it off like the beginning, middle, and end. You know what I mean? I don't think they're gonna just keep going just to keep going.
Agree.
I mean, it's weird because we don't even know. Is he gonna get him back before the end of the season? 2 episodes left on the season, I believe.
You think we're gonna see Ahsoka again?
I think we're gonna. Well, we're definitely gonna see Ahsoka because word is she's getting her own series.
Oh, that's dope.
And supposedly that series will kind of be like the story of like her going off looking for Ezra, and
after Rebels
may or may not include like Sabine and stuff like that from Rebels.
Okay.
Filoni said, we don't know if that episode takes place after or before the end scene in Rebels, because the end scene in Rebels, Sabine stayed on Lothal to defend Lothal, and then suddenly, like one day, like Ahsoka shows up after the Civil War has ended. Ahsoka shows up and she's like, "It's time to go," and like they go off together. But obviously, we didn't see Sabine in this episode, and so that's something that could definitely, maybe she like got the lead and then goes to get Sabine, and then that's where her series takes off or whatever. But we'll see. Also, we might get some more information and some world building from the Obi-Wan series.
True.
So definitely.
I feel like Obi-Wan series is going to be a mini series. I think it's going to be like
I don't
season maybe.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get an ongoing series with Ewan McGregor. That's going to be, he'll do a season and then maybe in a few years he'll be like, hey, you guys want to do another story arc or whatever?
Yeah, I have a feeling that's going to be a season max, maybe 12 episodes, and that's it.
Limited series.
Yeah.
Well, I remember years ago, after the prequel trilogy had come out, there was a book that came out where, Obi-Wan was kind of, it's settling in on Tatooine, and then all of a sudden, like, he gets like a message that like, he's needed, so he has to go off world to like do something, and he's like, so obviously you can get like where Obi-Wan is like going and coming back and just keeping an eye on Luke, because obviously he can't be around Luke all the time. That would just draw attention. Yeah.
So I actually have an interest. Well, to me, it's interesting. Disney kind of fucking fumbled the ball with all of the Star Wars shit. With them discontinuing the extended universe and all that fucking shit. Now that they're making TV shows for Disney Plus, which is going to benefit them a whole lot more than the novels that people are writing, because they actually decanonize, whatever, however you say that shit.
Decanonize.
Decanonized Ahsoka's origin. So not origin, sorry, not her origin. Her discovery of Order 66.
Yeah, they made some changes, and
They made a bunch of changes. So if that's the case, what do you think will happen when they're like, oh, we want to tell the story of Thrawn, but we don't want to make it like the book, and then they're going to start changing, like, you know, the book that came out after
the one that came out in the last few years.
Yeah.
I mean, look, that's been going on for as long as there have been Star Wars novels. That's been going on. It's just one of those things where, you know, George Lucas did that with the prequel trilogy. You know, George Lucas decanonized a bunch of stuff from the extended universe when he did the prequels, and so it kind of goes with the territory. The general rule of thumb is that if you don't see it on the screen, then it's subject to change.
Or hopefully not.
Yeah.
Hopefully they canonize, whatever you fucking, however you, I can't
Canonize?
Whatever. You got it. I can't pronounce it. Decanonize, whatever, the fucking episode 7, 8, and 9. I hope they do that. Put that shit in the garbage, and let's try it all over again. Let's redo 7, 8, and 9. We don't need what just happened. Sorry, JJ. Fucking sucked.
I was actually like, I remember when the prequels came out, you know, and I know it's going to sound like Star Wars sacrilege, but I kind of always remember going, like, when the prequels came out, kind of going like, you know, the prequels look so different from the original trilogy that I wouldn't mind if, like, the original trilogy stays like its own thing, and then they just continue the story by remaking 4, 5, and 6, and like updating because I would much rather have like the originals untouched as they were, and then just have them remake 4, 5, and 6, and, like, you know, cast new actors and do all those effects brand new and all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm of the belief that, man, movies shouldn't be remade until original cast is dead, bro. You know what I mean? I'm of that belief. So
I mean, but thing is, Hollywood's been remaking movies.
I know they
forever. Like there were movies that came out in the silent era in the 1910s that were remade in like the 1930s with sound.
Yeah,
you know, and then remade again in the 1950s.
I'll tell you what, if they do remake episodes 4, 5, and 6, the fucking lightsaber battles would be a million times better.
Yeah, they would. They would, because it would not. You know, you would have modern day, you know, sound effects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I actually like the old stuff better, though. I like the not the effects, but I like the choreography from the old movies better than the new movies.
Well, what the old movies have is like it feels like they're thinking about what they like the
it seems like more of a chess match.
Right. Yeah. The prequel movies are it's checkers. It's fast. It's they're jumping around. They're clashing lightsabers, all of that. The original trilogy, it's a chess match. We're both sensitive to the Force. We're both fighting each other. I'm taking the time to reach out through the Force to maybe see what your next move is going to be, and you're doing the same. Like,
yeah,
you know, and it's one of those things. It's like, we do and we don't.
Yeah, we all saw that video.
I saw that video, and that was badass, but that thing also weighs like 40 pounds and probably runs out of fuel in like 20 seconds.
You got to start somewhere, bro.
Yeah.
Those real life lightsabers got to start somewhere.
It's also infinite, I feel like. That heat continues to go.
It probably
actually, there's a great web series. I think it's called Beyond Science or something like that on YouTube, where somebody explains lightsabers, and it's like, judging by like the amount of light that's being emitted from it and all that, like, this blade has got to be like over like 40,000 degrees or something like that. And he goes,
yeah.
Or in other words, if you ignited this thing in front of you, you would immediately combust into flames. Like, it's like that's how hot it is.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just one of those things where it's like, man, that's. But that proto saber video is great. Yeah. Those guys are crazy. I've seen those guys make like all kinds of shit. Like I think they've made like, hey, what if Thor's hammer was like a real thing, and then like it weighs like 2,000 pounds or whatever, because it's like pure solid metal or whatever.
Yeah.
Then they're like, all right, well we made it. It's heavy as shit. Let's drop it on things and see what happens.
Oh,
I don't know
Lord.
if I saw the same channel, but I definitely seen people remake those things. It's pretty fucking crazy.
My favorite version of the Thor's hammer is the one that they make that's got an electromagnet, and so like they put it on like a metal base and activate the magnet, so nobody can pick it up, and then they just deactivate the magnet and pick it up. And like, what are you talking about? It's but yeah, so we all like the Jedi. Obviously, we thought Rosario was great. Then we get this most recent episode, the tragedy, and obviously, I think we know why it's called the tragedy. But man, Boba Fett, like, and it's Boba Fett, and he's grizzled, and he's older. He's got a bit of a paunch belly on him. He's been eating whatever the Tusken Raiders are eating, because it looks like he's been hanging out with them with his gaffy stick and the rifle. And then obviously, well, I'm a man of my word, right? I said, if you give me my armor, I'll help you protect the child, and we need to go protect the child.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, whoa.
Yeah.
It killed my theory. Remember, I had the theory that the person that showed up at the end that like recovered her body, that it was gonna be like she had like a twin sister or something like that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Two of them.
Yep.
That was wrong. We get she shows us the wound, and she's got like a robot abdomen.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about abs of steel.
Right.
Which I don't even know how the fuck that works. Like it was a gut shot, and now all of a sudden she's got like a piston system in there.
Bro, haven't you seen Bicentennial Man?
Yeah, man.
True,
bro.
That's how that works.
Get with
bro.
it.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
Then again, if Maul can have robot legs,
That's true. He's got spider legs, bro.
Yeah, and he eventually he evolves them eventually. You got to get on Rebels, bro.
I know
you've seen some of Clone Wars, but Rebels is really where it's at.
Yeah. Rebels start on the last 2 episodes of season 2, and then just fucking watch it from there. You don't need to watch anything.
You got to get a little bit of the intro to the character.
No, you could skip all of that fucking baby bullshit. Get rid of all of it. Go straight to the nitty gritty, baby.
In Rebels?
Yeah, Rebels' first 2 seasons are trash.
Okay.
Up until the last 2 episodes, and then it goes from like 0 to 100 million. It gets so good in like 2.
It goes to ludicrous speed.
Yeah.
So start in the last 2 episodes of season 2, and then watch from there.
You'll see. It gets like, wow, where did this come from?
But do I understand? Do I understand what's happening in Rebels if I didn't watch Clone Wars?
No. But you'll still get the gist of it. Well, you will, but you won't give a shit. Like, you won't give a shit about seeing Maul, because who gives a fuck? You won't give a shit when you see Ahsoka, because you don't know anything about Ahsoka. The cool thing is Rebels shows you won't give a shit when you see Rex. You'll be like, what's this guy?
Yeah.
So that's what Clone Wars does. Clone Wars. Oh, by the way, I finished the last season of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
That was not as good as the original season ender, whatever.
Yeah, they were.
Clone Wars is after Rebels?
Before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw the last season because they redid, or they finally concluded season, not season, but Clone Wars. Aside from the Netflix last season, so they did one more, and this one was supposed to tie everything together, and it does. It ties everything together, but it didn't have as much of a emotional impact like the original last season did. But it was still good that when Ahsoka finds out. So Ahsoka and the blue guy from Fallen Order and Yoda are the only people who knew that the fucking Order 66 existed.
Yeah, the blue guy from Fallen Order. You're talking about the blue guy, the Master?
Yeah, the Master. He was the only one that sensed it. No other Jedi sensed it, but besides those three.
Well, I don't know if he sensed the gravity of it.
No, he sensed that they were going to betray him.
I think he sensed the death in the Force, and then maybe because they were, I guess, farther out, it took a while for the transmission to get, like a little longer for the transmission to get to them or whatever.
I was under the impression that he sensed it because his reaction to it.
Well, remember, like he senses the deaths because he does that moment where, like, I think he drops to his knee or something like that, and he's like, "Oh my god, I just felt like."
That's what I'm saying. No other Jedi had that sense. You know, everyone else just kind of like got surprised by
that we know of.
That true. So it's like Ahsoka, but that's because she has like a deep connection with Anakin. So that's obvious.
Yeah. I mean, look, we know
Yoda,
people that survived Order 66. Yeah, but we know that this guy from Rebels,
Cab.
I wanted to call him Caleb, and I know that's his real name, but the Kanan.
No.
Kanan obviously survived Order 66 because his master saved his life. We know from I think it was in Rebels that they show up to the distress beacon, and we find out that that Jedi had been killed right after they made her record the message, but she obviously was she survived long enough to record that message.
His name's
obviously
Cal.
Yoda and Obi-Wan survived the Order. And then obviously if they want to write it out to like Fallen Order, that was a brand new character that they just added this year or last year whenever the story came out. So and then Rebels was a couple of years ago. So obviously whenever they kind of want, they can just be like, well, this person survived Order 66 too or whatever. And at that point, there's so many Jedi out there.
But I'm talking about as of right now. So I think it's only those three that sensed Order 66 because no one else did. So that was cool seeing how she survived because everybody else died because they couldn't sense it. It was something that was programmed into their brain to happen instantly. It had no emotion to it.
Yeah. I mean, really, the whole purpose of the season is just to kind of really solidify the fact that first of all, they wanted to give Rex
shit with a
story. Yeah. Well, they really wanted to get. I think they really wanted to give Rex a story, and that's the first 3 episodes or whatever.
Dude, that was another season that was just absolute trash up until the last 3 episodes.
Yeah. And then I think the whole purpose is they want to set up for you the fact that Ahsoka has obviously no idea what's happening in the real world when it comes to people who are not part of the Jedi Order.
Yeah, but who cares?
And then after that, obviously, the one last mission, and then the Order 66 and all of that, just to kind of tie everything together. And I kind of feel that's because I feel Dave Filoni read the Ahsoka novel and was like, no, I don't agree with this. I'm gonna show you what really happened with Rex and Ahsoka. And I like the fact that it's Ahsoka who gets the chip out of Rex's head and all of that. So
regardless, it didn't have as much of an impact, at least not to me.
Yeah.
I thought the ending of Yoda finding out how to turn into a fucking spirit was way more interesting. And then it kind of ties up all the other stuff. But anyway, and then you see Boba Fett with his belly, and that motherfucker made me feel real good. Your boy's a little tubby right now, and he was whooping all kinds of ass with that big ass pole, boy.
And dude, how great to see him swinging that gaffy stick and busting stormtrooper armor.
That's what's up. Hey, straight up, they made him more of a badass in this shit in one episode than he did in the entire fucking Star Wars existence. That guy was such a chump in all of fucking Star Wars up until we see now, where he's just whooping on everyone's ass.
And then my prediction about her being a twin did not come true.
Did not.
My prediction about the Mandalorian getting a new ship, however, looks like that will come true.
Well, I would hope so. His ship was absolutely terrible. It was ugly as sin. I don't know what they were thinking with that ugly ass shit.
Yeah.
And then when he landed on that planet and you see the fucking Slave One come in, I'm like, now that's a ship.
and I'll be honest, I was not expecting Boba Fett.
I was
like, I know we saw Boba Fett a few episodes ago, but they're not going to bring him back now, are they? And sure as shit,
when I saw that ship, when I saw that ship, I was like, homeboy came to get his armor. I knew it, but I did not know we were going to get everything. I did not expect it to be 30 minutes of just whoop ass, because that's what it was. It was a bunch. It was 3 dudes whooping on everybody's ass. There was even boulders thrown into mix. Whatever. Let's go.
And then how convenient, Mandalorian took his jetpack off and then didn't put it back on during the fight.
Yeah, that was like plot armor right
Yeah.
there. That was the most plot armor thing I've ever seen in my life.
The whole time when he's running back up the mountain, I was like,
use your
fucking
jetpack.
idiot. Exactly.
Get your fucking jetpack.
You got a remote control on that shit. Bring it to you and as you're running. You know?
Seriously, bro. I mean,
that was
I hate when shows do shit like that.
Yeah, they had to explain why it was difficult to get up that mountain so slowly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also the plot armor of, oh, we need to put some tension in this scene. Let's have him get knocked out by the thing he did 5 times, but he's gonna get knocked out this one. This one he's gonna get knocked out. It was like, okay, whatever. It was still dope as shit. And then you see the Dark Troopers at the end. Yeah, very cool, very cool.
Shout out to
cool.
Jedi Knight series,
though. But they made them robots now.
Well, that's from the. I don't know if you ever played the old Jedi Knight games.
Yeah, they weren't robots. They were just buffed up stormtroopers.
Oh, I thought they were like cyborgs or something like that.
Well, maybe, but I mean, they were just black suit stormtroopers. I thought they were human. They didn't animate like robots or anything like that. I just assumed they were human. These look like, I mean, there's holes in their joints like action figures. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They are absolutely robots.
Although, how fucked up would it be if, like, you know, he shoots one in the chest and it starts to bleed, and then like it's like an upper torso with like robot limbs and
like
robot legs.
They're a fucking dragoon. Yeah, that would be fucking sick as hell. That would be some fucking like Wolfenstein shit right there. Oh, we're not going to expend any of our fucking soldiers. We'll make something out of your dead carcass. Fucked up shit. No, but that episode was dope as fuck. Thank you, Boba Fett, for not being a bitch, because I had to justify why I'm obsessed with him, besides his armor looking sick as fuck. And it looks even better now because it's all beat the fuck up. I love it.
I feel like everybody that's ever been a Boba Fett fan feels vindicated after this episode.
Yep.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the character we always wanted to be.
I like how they explain that he's, you know, we find out that he's technically not a Mandalorian, but that the armor
father was a foundling.
Exactly. I think that
was explained though. That was explained in Clone Wars.
That or one of the comics or something like that.
No, it was in Clone Wars. Obi-Wan goes to the Empress of Mandalore and says he encountered one of their kind named Boba Fett, and then the general's like, Boba Fett's not a Mandalorian. He straight up says it.
Well, so it's one of those weird things because
Django. He named it Django.
Yeah, but that could be also like the way that it was explained is like, well, it could also be that like that guy is like an elitist, and so like he only considers people from Mandalore to be Mandalorian, but Django's actually from like one of the moon planets or like one of the other planets in that system.
Yeah, but that makes you a foundling. That doesn't make you a Mandalorian.
Yeah, I don't know. But it also kind of goes against like what we learned in season 1, where it's like Mandalorian is like a way of living and not a specific like race. Like
All right. I discovered that there's different sects of Mandalorians, and maybe the one where that guy is from doesn't view the others, view the other ones. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. And then and I'm sure that like his people, the children of the Watch, don't consider any of the others to be true Mandalorians. Like it's
Yeah, actually, you're right. Yeah, because Djarin, what's his name? Din Djarin.
I'm
gonna try. I'm gonna try to remember this because I gave Boba Fett the fucking time of day to remember his stupid ass name, because that's a stupid name. Boba Fett, that's a stupid ass name. But I'm gonna give Din Djarin the fucking time of day because poor guy. Where everyone's calling him Mando and Grogu too, or Grogu, whatever his fucking name.
I think everybody calls him Mando just because of that one scene with Carl Weathers.
Yeah,
when like he shows up at the bar, he's like Mando.
Yeah,
like it's like I'm gonna call him Mando also.
Man, it's all in the hips.
I just can't wait till one day I have a friend that's named Armando, just like be like Mando.
Ooh, Pitbull. We can call Pitbull Mando.
Oh, he sounded like what's that guy? The pirate. in Rebels.
I thought you were gonna say Steve the pirate from Dodgeball.
No, he's talking about Hondo Anaka.
Yeah, you sounded like him right now. But yeah, what I was saying was,
he's a little bit more like he's soft to turn, like he's like, oh yes, we make good profit on this.
Yeah,
you know.
But what I was saying was Din Djarin, he also said that to Bo-Katan when she took off her helmet. He's like, you're no Mandalorian.
He's like, where did you get that armor or whatever? And she's like, this armor's been in my family for generations.
But Boba Fett legit denounced himself 100%. He's like, I don't abide by anybody but myself.
Yeah,
which is cool as fuck.
It is cool as fuck, bro. I'm telling you, they did in 40-something minutes with Boba Fett what like nobody had done in the previous 3 movies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That show was fucking tight. And then we get to see Slave One again. Ooh, that's my favorite ship. Besides the A-Wing, fucking Slave One is the coolest ship in fucking Star Wars. Still. Yeah.
So we're an hour 20 in. We haven't gotten into HBO Max or Spider-Man. Do you guys want to save that for next week?
I mean, we could certainly save it to next week.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be real honest with you. I'm from what I'm seeing, I don't even know if it's going to happen.
The Spider-Man?
The HBO Max thing.
What's HBO Max? What's happening with HBO?
All right, fuck it. We'll talk about it.
All right.
So obviously we remember the announcement. HBO Max announced. Warner Brothers announced the movies that are supposed to be coming out in theaters that they're going to release them on HBO Max same day.
Yep.
Well, apparently, some of the directors and some of the producers and some of the actors have taken issue with this. So the biggest example, the one that came to light immediately, was Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot's contract has some stipulations based on the movie's performance. Basically, additional money that she can earn if the movie hit certain benchmarks.
Yeah.
And with the movie, if the movie gets released directly to HBO Max, it won't hit those benchmarks.
It won't count.
Right.
Like, views on HBO Max won't count towards those benchmarks.
Right. It doesn't count because it's really hard to translate. The only thing you can really count are new subscriptions that happen because of the release. You can't really count,
how many times somebody has streamed it.
Right, and I mean, I'm sure you can see how many times somebody has streamed it, but like I don't think they count that monetarily. Like that would be something that's like equivalent, I guess, to and also like people who are longtime subscribers who subscribe for other things, like you can't really pinpoint who's subscribing specifically because they want to see that movie. So it becomes like a fraction of a number.
Yeah.
You have to make the assumption of like, well, the movie came out and we received, and just to keep it an easy number, we received 100 new subscriptions. And so, but we, according to our individual numbers, we think only like a third of those people actually signed up because of the movie, and the other people signed up because of other things or whatever.
Yeah.
So we're only going to credit you with like maybe, as opposed to like movie tickets where like, yeah, the movie sold this many tickets.
Exactly.
So apparently, like, she's one of the people, like, her agency's like, no, if you're going to do that, we need to, like, restructure this deal, and we need and not only her, but apparently, like, directors and other actors, and, like, anybody that's got a movie that was going to come out that all of a sudden is hitting with this news. So Warner Brothers has to restructure all of these contracts and, like, give additional monies that they didn't think about it. That could basically kill the deal.
Yeah.
Not to mention certain deals that they have with certain movie theater chains about like periods of exclusivity where they have the movie before anybody else.
Yeah, I think the AMC CEO or president or whatever was throwing mad shade at Warner Brothers, which is understandable,
Yeah, I mean, especially with theaters being all on life support right now.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where like that deal is looking like it may or may not happen.
Yeah.
It depends on how many deals they can work out. And then the other news that obviously we got the casting news for Spider-Man, that has like all this multiverse stuff apparently happening. And I want to believe it'll happen, and I want to believe that all parties are going to come to the table amicably.
Yeah.
But I mean, at a certain point, part of me starts to doubt it and be like, well, but maybe some of these actors, if you don't give them like a big enough part, then maybe they won't want to do it. And
Yeah.
so again, when it comes to like casting news, like I'm always a little skeptical until like it's like in writing, like, hey, it happened.
Yeah.
Like for example, I know people were talking about like for the last few months about Mads Mikkelsen replacing Johnny Depp in the Fantastic Beasts series. And one of the first people that came out and was like, hey, I don't know anything about this, was Mads Mikkelsen. And then I guess like the response was so good, they finally reached out with an offer, and now it's happening for real.
Ooh.
But like for all we know, like it was announced today, I think Alfred Molina coming back as Doc Ock. And for all we know, maybe nobody's even reached out to Alfred Molina to see if he wants to do it.
Yeah. That's crazy. I haven't. You mentioned Johnny Depp. I don't know what the drama is with Johnny Depp and his wife. I know they split, and there was some.
There are some allegations of spousal abuse. That caused
physical.
Yeah. But then it turns out that abuse may have gone the other way, and then now it turns out that maybe there might have been some mutual abuse.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things. But I know that like the fanboys were all like yelling out like, well, if Johnny Depp is going to lose his role and like all of these things, like she should lose her roles also, and she should be like removed from like the Justice League reboot and the Aquaman series and all that. So
disregard that, Dennis. That's a bunch of liberal bullshit.
Yeah,
that's what that is, boys. I don't fucking. Oh my god.
Look, man. I don't
Personal
know.
Shit. What is that has to do anything with someone's career? I don't understand that shit.
Well, because we're living in an era where it's like we don't want to promote unhealthy behaviors and people who do those unhealthy behaviors. Meanwhile, as far as I know, Chris Brown still,
he still makes music,
records and sells tickets.
Yeah,
he did a song with Rihanna after that, like years later.
Fucking dude, how long ago did like the supposedly R. Kelly with the underage girl thing come out? It was like, because I think I was still in high school or I was like just into college when that happened.
Well, he married
like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, he married Aaliyah. He married Aaliyah when she was a teenager, and it had to be annulled because she was a fucking teenager.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, motherfucker was still putting out, doing concerts, still selling records.
Yeah, bro.
Motherfucker didn't go to jail till like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things where it's like,
it's liberal bullshit. Yeah, you're right. That's
no, I mean the liberal bullshit is that he wasn't arrested like 20 years ago and shit when he married Aaliyah.
It's like the outrage culture. That's what all this shit is. Yeah. It's just people wanting to get mad about
the cancel culture, man. Cancel culture.
Yeah.
But
some
people do deserve to get canceled, but I don't know enough about what Johnny Depp and his wife.
I don't think anybody deserves to be canceled unless they suck at their job. That's what I think. If you don't want to support them, you do it. You do you.
Whoa.
You don't have to like your business doesn't have to be like completely destroyed
but,
just because.
Okay, but let's like for example,
like breaking the law kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Well, but like let's look at it if you're an investor, right? Johnny Depp has been accused of basically, smacking his wife around. You're gonna put him in a franchise that's $1 billion franchise,
where people might.
Maybe all of a sudden you lose half your audience.
People might boycott and protest and shit like that. Nobody wants to deal with that bullshit.
That's my point. What he does means nothing to anybody besides the person he's doing it to. If he actually did it, I'm not saying
but we don't live in that world.
But just
that in this world, if you're a celebrity, you're
in his own house or in his own life, it's fucking stupid, bro. Imagine if someone's fucking word breaks out. Oh shit. Fucking Gus jerks off to fucking cartoons. Everyone gets outraged. Why? Who gives a shit, bro? oh shit, Ebony's got a fucking sex doll. Who gives a shit? It's not your business. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? It's stupid. I think that shit's stupid. I think it's all stupid.
You've also named two things that I don't think either one of us would ever be ashamed
Obviously,
to admit were
I
true.
try to think of the most ludicrous thing I can.
That's the most ludicrous thing you could think of? That's not very ludicrous.
Yeah.
I mean, for the
think so.
record, I don't own a sex doll. It seems like a lot of trouble to keep and maintain.
Yeah. And
Whatever,
cartoons.
bro. You're
come on.
missing the point. The point is what you do in your personal life doesn't matter to other people. Shouldn't be anybody else's business. It's stupid.
Yeah, but
It's fucking stupid.
but we kind of we like, and obviously, you know, we're a small podcast with not that many listeners. If all of a sudden, if one day we were to blow up and have like thousands of listeners, then obviously, you know, that's one of those things where it's like, well, we kind of dug our own grave on that one. And yeah, if thousands of people listening to you, then yeah, you have to be comfortable with the opinion of thousands of people. If you're a movie star like Johnny Depp is, where like I want to say like over 1 billion people know who Johnny Depp is.
Yeah.
You have to kind of be comfortable with over 1 billion people judging what you do. You know, all of us every single day. I know that when this stream turns off and I go to bed or whatever, Gus is gonna be like, "Fuck, Eben did this thing on the episode today that fucking I didn't like," and I'm gonna be like, "Man, Gus's internet connection froze again during the stream," and like we think about, you know, each other, and you know, whether or not we say it to each other is a different thing. That's the one thing that like the internet really has done, where it's like if I had the opportunity to tell Gus, "Hey Gus, why don't you go fix your internet connection," and he doesn't know that I'm the one that's telling him that, you know, I might do it. Let alone if I'm such a fucking asshole that I'm like, I'm gonna create like 300 internet profiles and I'm gonna tell
Burner
them to do that
accounts?
for all of them.
You think you're Kevin Durant with your burner accounts, bro?
Right?
I just think it's stupid that people get into people's personal life. The person that shit should matter to is the person being affected, not the fucking public eye. You know what I mean?
Look,
I mean, you're a public figure, bro.
if you're an actor and you want to have a private life, you know who's doing it right? Matt Damon.
And Joker.
Matt Damon's like, I'm not gonna live in LA. I'm gonna take my family. We're gonna move to like a
They
less
bought a zoo.
populated area of the country.
They bought a zoo. I don't know if you knew that.
What happened?
They bought a zoo.
Like for real, or just like the movie? Or just like the movie?
I don't know.
That'd be funny if like he did it in real life.
Yeah, it's a documentary.
Anyway, here's
But
a bad
I
segue.
think what he lives with his wife in like in Maine or in Massachusetts.
Mhm.
Not in Boston, but like, you know, in the Massachusetts area. And like he lives a quiet life. He doesn't go out and like, you know.
Oh, there's a
do
bunch.
shit.
There's a bunch of people who do the same thing. I'm saying in principle, it should be no one's business besides the people being affected. Like, you know.
Also, I feel
That's
like
just my take.
I feel like just from watching Hollywood from a distance, if you're an actor, don't marry an actress. Like don't marry people where like you each have publicists and you're trying to like, you know, always stay relevant and always stay like I find that like the actors that have married like civilians live happier lives and are in the public eye a lot less.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know? I mean, think about it. Like, if you both have to stay relevant and you both have to, you know, always get there and always be relevant in order to get work. I feel like at a certain point, like drama just happens for the sake of happening.
Yeah.
Actors aren't public figures. You're thinking of celebrity. A celebrity is a public figure. An actor is just a job.
Well,
we're talking about actors who are celebrities.
Yeah, that's two different things. Well, Joaquin Phoenix is an actor. Absolutely not a celebrity. That motherfucker is not in the public eye at all.
No.
I mean, he is a celebrity. He just does a good, like Matt Damon does a good job of staying out of the public eye.
You know who you never hear anything about is Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis, you hear about him when he makes a movie, and then otherwise, like that guy could be living like in a cabin in like the Antarctic, and like
yeah. The thing is that he's always preparing for his next character. That's why.
Yeah. You know.
Anyway, segue. once again, Disney is riding the fucking coattails of Sony because Sony made a good Spider-Man movie. Now they're going to do it because there's a lot of talks.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. It's a lot of talks, but like I said, I'm always of the opinion with movies, it's always talk until it actually happens.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot. Fucking Doc Ock now confirmed. Come on.
Yeah.
That's a.
But how long have we been waiting on the Flash movie?
You have. I don't.
And they haven't even like shot a frame of footage. It's like
that's true. Now, I'm making a joke. I don't really give a fuck about Flash, but yeah, it's been a while since they fucking. Speaking of things that have been out talking about it for a while, Cyberpunk 2077, whatever that fucking game is, came out.
The Keanu Reeves game.
Yeah, it came out like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Is that your homework for the weekend?
Oh, I'm not gonna play that shit. I'm not into those. I'm not into those kind of games. But people are losing their minds, man. People are like, I saw a video of some guy crying as it was loading or installing, like saying that he's been waiting 8 years to play this shit. I'm like,
I think that's why I don't play video games too much anymore. Because I miss the old days when I would just pop in the disc and play the game. Now everything has to install and everything has to load.
The stakes are a little bigger, bro. That game's only the day one patch is 40 gigabytes, bro. That's just a patch. That's just a patch to make the game work. So the game is probably at least, I don't know how much it is, but I'm going to throw a number out. Maybe 60 gigs, maybe 90 gigs. Some ridiculous shit.
Either way, like, bro. Yeah. And like meanwhile, like your hard drive is like 1 terabyte.
Yeah, well,
and your game's like 90 gigs.
If you have the smallest one, because I don't even fuck with a terabyte anymore. I got 4 terabytes.
Yeah, it's at a certain point, man. Like video games are just supposed to be like fun ways of wasting time. Actually, when it takes me 2 days to install the game before I can play it, that's no longer fun for me.
They actually have a category that's categorized now. What you're thinking of is arcade games. The games where you just jump in, play whatever, and then you jump out. That's an arcade game.
There you go. That's what I like.
Yeah, I like arcade games, like those wrestling games that you used to play also. Yeah. Those are arcade games. You jump in, you have your fun, and you leave. But like these AAA fucking, like this Cyberpunk, this is not an arcade game. You invest hours to, play the game.
Yeah.
But yeah. Right. But anyway, Spider-Man is, if it is what it's looking like, I think that would be super cool. I just kind of hate that we needed fucking Sony to do it first, because it would have been so cool for the Spider-Man of the MCU be Miles Morales, because they painted it to be that character.
Yeah.
Never did it.
All right. Well,
we'll see, man. I'm sure all that news just came out, so maybe when we do next week's show, a lot more news will come out, and we'll be able to expound on it a little bit more.
And again, a lot of times, like, where did the news come from? Was it reported by Variety, the paper of record in Hollywood, or was it reported by like comic book resources, and they got it from like some guy who got it from some guy who like was in a meeting between a vice president?
No, I get what you're saying, but I'm of the belief of where there's smoke, there's fire. People don't just come up with random shit, and there's like no nugget of truth to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. There is something's happening.
Multiple outlets are reporting that.
Yeah, but the thing is also like there's a difference between like, hey, these two producers were talking and they've added around this idea, and wouldn't it be great if they did that? And hey, they've reached out to the actors agency and they've actually come to terms on a deal, and it's gonna happen. So
yeah.
Until that happens, then I'll be skeptical of it. Anyways, not gonna do show us your deck tonight. We're gonna skip that. And if you stuck around this long, thank you. We love you too.
Thanks to our guest that I completely missed. Also,
yeah. And guys, if as you're aware, we ain't found Sith on all the social platforms.
Oh yeah. Somebody's watching on Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, comment something. I want to see who you are.
I'll do it right now.
That's how Pedro's hearing us. He's watching us on Twitch.
That's right.
But thank you so much, you guys, for sticking around with us for as long as you have. And again, Gus, are you gonna upload some of the back episodes onto the feed for audio listeners?
Yeah, I am. Eventually, life has been coming at me fast lately.
Yeah, the longer it takes, the more episodes there are to upload. So.
I know, man. I even got behind on Lemon City. I just caught up with that. So
yeah. Anyways, Gus every morning on onsideradio.com,
Yo,
and the MyTuner Radio app.
Yes, sir. Also now on Radio FM. Also, if you don't like the MyTuner app,
Yeah.
download Radio.
Mornings from 8 to 10, the Morning Juice.
Yes.
And
stuff, you can listen to my voiceover characters.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the only draw side to doing this on video is La Sucia can't show up on video.
That's true. She doesn't do video. She doesn't do video. She only does audio. Otherwise, her cover will be blown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like Uncle Nefarious. Uncle Nefarious cannot show up on video.
Thank you, Cindy Nightmare.
Yeah. Anyways, again, thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you so much. We love you guys. And we'll see you later, Sith Heads.
Later.